Hi, I'm Martial Arts Master Bill Fitzpatrick, welcoming you to Lesson 13 of the Master Real Estate course. Now, you have an overall real estate investment plan. You need a plan. You have a plan. This plan is simple, clear, and straightforward. Your basic plan is to acquire 6 properties and be in a position to retire as soon as you pay off the mortgages. For example, your plan may be to buy your own single-family house first, then to buy 4 income-producing properties, and then finally a second home or a vacation home for yourself. Your goal should be to make this happen within 20 years or less. Well, you could also say, well, I'm going to buy my own house, a vacation house, 2 condos. I'm going to put my mother-in-law in one and a daughter in another, and I'm going to buy 2 commercial properties for my antique business. And that'll be my total of 6. And I say, well, you got a plan. That's great. Go out and let's do it. The total owned free of debt in 20 years will almost certainly make you, and you're going to like this term, multi-millionaire. How do you get your 6 properties? Well, average people buy 1 house. You do what average people do, only you do it 6 times. How do you do it? Well, you break it down. You buy 1 property, then you buy 2 properties, then you buy 3, 4, 5, 6. Most smart people who own 1 house live comfortably. You will own 6 properties, pay off the mortgages, and become a multi-millionaire. Where do you get the cash to buy 6 properties? Stop and reflect, 20 minutes of quiet time, your action principles, because common sense will tell you. Some people, well, that could be you. You may have a high-income job and can save the down payments. Or you may be able to refinance another property that you already own. Or you may have enough equity in a property to qualify for an equity line of credit. You may decide that it makes sense for you to begin working with partners. Maybe you have stocks or other assets that you can borrow against. Maybe you are in a position to borrow from relatives. You can arrange a blanket mortgage that covers more than 1 property. Or as you get into this and your knowledge base increases, you may be out there wheeling and dealing and buying and selling properties. Probably, most probably, you're going to be a saver. Saving 10 to 15% of your income for real estate investing would be a very admirable goal. Just think of this concept now. If you work 5 days a week and you decide, for a while I would be willing to work 6 days a week, you should be increasing your income then by 20%. And you could be using that money for real estate investing. So your life stays the same, everything stays the same. You work 1 more day and you take that day and you invest it in real estate. Now, average people are going to be shaking their head and thinking, I don't want to do this. I need my 2-day weekends. Well, if you're going to be a master of success in real estate, stop thinking right now that you're average. Maybe for the next 6 years you work Saturdays, and at the end of the 6 years you have your 6 properties. And you've changed your whole life, your whole children's, grandchildren, your family dynasty forever, just because you made that one decision. Get the idea? Average people stop and think and talk and share ignorance with one another, and they basically do nothing. Successful people do something. They have a plan. You have a plan. Make your plan. Execute your plan. Now let me tell you a story about my friend Jim. I was in the Army Reserve with him. Even in those days, I already had my real estate license, and I was an over-the-top kind of evangelist for the greatness of real estate investing. So I kept ranting to Jim and over again about how great real estate investing was. Finally, maybe just to shut me up, my persistence paid off. Jim asked me what he should buy, and I told him, well, you know, if you can, smart money is on buying a two-family house. He asked me, well, how much money will I need? And I told him, at the time, a down payment, $3,000. He told me, well, at the time he didn't have any money saved, but he made $300 a week net as a carpet installer. Now, I talk to a lot of people about the benefits of buying real estate, but I don't really talk to a lot of people like Jim. 10 weeks later, almost to the day, Jim walked into the real estate office one morning, around 10 o'clock in the morning, holding a paper bag containing $3,000 in cash. He had saved 100% of his income. He calmly asked, okay, Bill, where's my house? So happens there was a very nice two-family house on a large corner lot with a two-car garage that I've been kind of watching for myself. It was listed at $30,000, which was a very good price at that time. I said, Jim, I want you to see this house. Got in the car, drove to the house. Without my intervention, the owner and Jim hit it off and bonded immediately. Seems that they were both interested in fishing and carpentry. Well, I shut up and just stood back in the background. Together they went upstairs to look at the other apartment. Together they went and they were touring the large two-car garage. Together they went downstairs to see the old man's workshop. Two great friends, new buddies. Me, I just sat in the kitchen by myself. I sat there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. What's going on here? I went downstairs and found Jim shaking the old man's hand. The old man had decided to sell the house to Jim for $27,000 and give Jim all of the tools in his workshop. Again, why do I love real estate? What did we say in the last lesson? To be successful, sometimes all you have to do is to put yourself in the middle of the action. Here was Jim, the house, the old man. It worked, it gelled, it came together. All the pieces were there. Driving back to the office, of course, I was like, Jim, this is unbelievable. No one ever buys the first house that they look at, and the owner's giving you all of the tools and the machines and all that, you know. Of course, Jim didn't know any better. He just shrugged. 30 years have passed. Jim still lives in that house. That house was paid for years ago. Now, the second floor apartment brings Jim $1,500 a month. Today, that house that Jim bought for $27,000 is worth well over $400,000. Jim is still in the carpet business. But there is no doubt, zero, that Jim is financially better off than most people in the carpet business because of that one day, because of buying that one house. Now imagine you doing what Jim did 6 times. This is what you do. You're a person of action, a tough, thoughtful, spiritual person of action, an action principles champion, a master of success. Go out and put yourself in the middle of the action in your small specific investment area. You are a master of success in real estate. Get out there. Get into the action. Let's go out there. Let's make up our mind and let's do it.